Hey, my name's Jack Devoy, and today I'm just going to be reflecting over the past few months, running my AI business and just everything I've learned. I'm just walking on the rail trail. It's pretty good. Pretty good views. I probably should have bought a selfie stick, but I'll just hold my camera like this. But yeah, I'd say over about the past 5 months have definitely been interesting, to say at the least. I've learned definitely a lot, not only with AI, but business skills, understanding psychology, marketing, that sort of stuff. Just working with a big corporate company was to actually not just go in blindfolded with AI, but actually base stuff on data and outcomes. But then you could argue the point with AI there isn't really data and outcomes. So you gotta analyze what's already out there, what's already working, and just build upon it, just leveraging AI just to improve what's already working, if that makes sense. It's definitely hard when we're in the early adopters phase of AI. Really, when there's no tutorials or anything out there, it's pretty difficult to solve problems. It comes down to problem solving skills and just being able to have resilience and just somehow figure out solutions. I definitely found ChatGPT helped me a lot, solve a lot of these problems, definitely coding front-end problems. Over the past few months, the problem I found, I didn't have much time to work on other stuff / grow the business. I was more working in the business, and also it's a good thing you learn a lot of your head to the floor, you learn a lot of stuff. I just wasn't really growing to a sense apart from the learning side. It was kind of frustrating because I knew I could grow screen creative, but I did understand at the same time I was still learning definitely a lot. AI over the next few years, I think recently the new O1 mini and O1 preview, so that's reasoning / chain of thought AI models, they recently just came out and they're pretty damn impressive. They're at a PhD level intelligence. I was using them the past week and a half and they're pretty impressive. They were able to solve pretty difficult coding tasks. This is the exponential growth of AI. It's a no-brainer just to be in this industry. It's pretty interesting being at the start of a technological curve, especially an exponential one like this. So it's really hard to find the niche solutions or where AI is going to directly fit into each niche, because one, it hasn't been done before, and two, it's such a new technology. We've got to really figure out the product market fit and just see what the best solutions are. We built some very complex solutions. We built web scrapers, custom HTTPs, that sort of stuff, and back-end automations. What we found are the chatbots, yeah, they haven't been fully adopted in the niche we're working in. It was just pretty difficult. But then, yeah, it's just waiting until the technology gets better and more people adopt it. Because previously, the old school chatbots, they kind of put people off. To be fair enough, I can see why. But it's more so figuring out now how do we get the people to adopt this technology, and then two, how do we implement it effectively whilst having reduced time and then reduced costs to actually produce this AI tech. I was building solutions that weren't really on the market yet, and we found, especially with voice bots for the industry we're in, the actual voice itself was one of the hardest problems, because the voice we're cloning had a very unique accent and we didn't have enough data to train it on. So that's one of the problems. And second was the intelligence, because the prompt was so big. The GPT-4o models couldn't handle it, and it really just lagged, especially with a phone call. You don't want the delays to be long. So that was two problems. We did find a solution with the intelligence by fine-tuning, using our multi-chat turn examples, formatting 100 to 200 examples at least, of different chat scenarios. But yeah, phone calls, they work, but you're in a very specific industry that where the wording has to be on point, especially because of legal requirements. You gotta, one, make the prompts not short, but short enough to where the delays aren't too long in voice agents. And then two, you gotta make the intelligence intelligent enough whilst reducing the size of the prompt, so still having enough intelligence with less of a prompt. And then second part is the voice. Voice is easy. You probably use things like 11 Labs and the pro cloning model. We found that worked. It's just oh look, it's a lake. Hold up. Give me a sec. River or some shit. But voice is definitely the easier part, but you just gotta get enough examples of the voice to actually clone it properly. But not that voice agents don't work, you just got to implement them right. Right now, to be honest, they probably won't replace humans. Probably 2 years, they definitely will, to be honest, the way the technology is going. But for now, it's more just specific tasks, and we just prompt it to do a certain task, just lead, qualification, appointment setting, customer support. So it can do those tasks. It's just you got to one, implement it, two, have the time to collect the data slash test the intelligence, and then deploy it, and then be able to take the risk of deploying it and testing it with leads or customers to learn and then keep on improving on their intelligence. Obviously, this technology is pretty amazing. You guys probably would have seen it, especially chatbots. Voice agents are a whole nother level. It's just more so finding the perfect niche solution to do it on. But yeah, not do it on, but to implement it within existing business structures, because there's no point trying to reinvent the world, find what's already working and just improve it basically. But damn, my arm is getting really sore. I should have got one of those selfie sticks, what we call them. We're gonna buy one for next video. But yeah, voice agents, they're probably more impressive than, not impressive, more realistic than chatbots, because voice is like a AI and how it interacts with us. Text, sure, that's good, but it doesn't feel the same as voice or video, which is more like human and interactive, and you can connect more with the person on the other end. Definitely with voice agents, there's been studies and other people I know in my network that people can't tell the difference between voice agents and humans, even with a tiny delay. So voice agents are definitely the go. You just gotta find a industry. You just gotta find a niche to implement it, where the prompts don't have to be necessarily too big, whilst also keeping the intelligence and getting like spot on voice, using voice cloning techniques slash frameworks. When you're cloning the voice, you want to keep a consistent flow of how you speak, not like speed up. It's definitely interesting. Chatbots, they're good. I figured out how to build a kind of chat GPT app front end, which is pretty impressive. It means you can customize chatbots to be more like ChatGPT, customize the UI and colors. That was pretty difficult to do. It took me a few months to figure out how to convert the CSS. We've definitely seen more value in the actual backend automations. So you implement the first chatbot slash voice agent, and then you go ahead and then actually use AI automations in the backend, because this is when there's kind of more value. Over the past 5 months, I noticed my biggest problem was time. Not that I wasn't using it correctly, because obviously I was doing a lot, learning a lot. I was spending like 2 hours driving just to get to the place. So it was definitely costing me a lot of time. And more so now what I'm doing now, I'm like back at home. I more so just have to build up my routine again and just build a solid foundation to build Screen Creative up from, get that consistent cash flow and just scale. So we're niching down into solar slash service-based businesses, and we're just going to scale up from there. Got like 2 meetings today from some cold calling I did on Friday. Definitely interesting the way technology is going, the exponential curve, this technological wave that's coming. We got AI, we've got synthetic biology. You can pretty much for around 25k, I think it's USD. You can pretty much for 25k, you can have like a CRISPR gene editor in your garage, and you can pretty much edit your genes and become superhuman. That technology is, one, the cost is decreasing, and then two, it's becoming exponentially easier to use and interact with. And you got robotics. That's kind of going to be like physical form for AI systems. Then I see probably 5 years, 2030 onwards, you're probably going to be 1-to-1 at least with robots. Probably a few years after that, it's going to be 1-to-2. So every one human, there'll be at least 2 robots. But I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. Like AI and robots in itself aren't like an evil thing. It's more so the actual humans using it. So it's like the moral compass of humans and how they leverage this technology. I feel like as a society or a global society, we're going to come together and see this utopian vision of all these technologies intertwining. Rather than use it for an overall negative purpose, is to use it for a utopian purpose and just overall good. Like these robots, I kind of see it like companions, like what you had in Star Wars, like R2-D2 or CP3PO, this sort of stuff, like Star Trek. I really don't think it's going to be dystopian. I feel like it's how Hollywood portrays it. Obviously, there will be a probability of people using it for bad. It's just countries using that tech in warfare and super AI intelligence. You gotta look at it as future's gonna change. The currency, I don't think money in and of itself will be valuable in the future. I think it will be more more be the currency of intelligence. So the uses of these super intelligent AGIs and how you leverage it. Because what's going to happen is it's going to be a world of abundance. It's going to be basically infinite resources. And then you're going to have the cost of everything will exponentially go to zero. It won't be zero, but it will be pretty much free to the amount it's used to produce it. So more so like robots, synthetic biology, like producing materials, it's not going to cost a lot to produce a lot of stuff in the future, and soon everyone pretty much all over the world will have access to anything they ever wanted. Obviously there will be a poor, middle and rich class, probably just poor and rich, but the difference between poor and rich will be so minimal. It'll be so minimal. The difference between the quality and the overall well-being of your life, you like won't complain and like, oh, may as well stop fighting, stop all these wars and stuff. Like we've already got everything we need. So yeah, that's the utopian vision. But to get there, we obviously got to adopt the technology. The masses have to adopt the technology, and we got to utilize it correctly. But yeah, you got synthetic biology, you got robotics, you got nanotech, you got VR and AI. I think Meta's pushing heavily into that. And I think that in itself would probably be like the new social media. It's going to be bigger than that. It's holograms and you actually interact face to face. I'll go back to that in a second. You've also got energy. Energy is going to be a big thing to actually be able to facilitate the usage of these technologies. You're going to need a lot of energy. So yeah, energy is going to be big. And then two, to actually learn new physics and engineering techniques to facilitate the actual energy required. So yeah, it's going to take a bit of innovation, but once we get there into 5 to 10 years, it'll be pretty impressive. Energy is going to be probably 2 to 3x the size. We're probably going to be nearing a type 1 civilization. But yeah, energy is definitely going to be readily, that's how you say it? We'll say readily, widely available. That's a better word. And pretty much not free, but pretty cheap compared to what we have it now. Then you got space technology. Soon we're going to be traveling to distant planets. And then there's other stuff such as, did I say nanotech? If I did not, there's also nanotechnologies, that sort of stuff. Am I missing anything? Cybersecurity is going to be a big one because pretty much right now your data isn't secure. All these big data centers are using it, and soon everyone's going to be using the AI agents / companions, and soon like data is not going to be secure. There's more having cybersecurity frameworks and systems to properly secure the data. So there's the emerging technologies. I may have missed a few, especially with VR and AR. It's going to be 3 things you need in the future. It's going to be 1, you got to be the best in whatever you do, whether it's your local town, your city, your country, your just worldwide, whatever niche, whatever you're doing with your life, you got to be the best at using AI. Because you've seen from GPT-3 1.5 years ago to where it is now with complex reasoning and chain of thought, it's already getting exponential, plus the voice mode stuff. And then soon to come, Sora, and then GPT-5. You got to be the best at whatever you do, because intelligence is going to be, you're going to boost your IQ points by probably 400 IQ points. Right now, AI is probably sitting at the 110 to 155 IQ. To put in perspective, Elon Musk is around 150, 155. And then Einstein was 162, so already it's pretty much genius level. It's not yet with like certain like aspects humans have just to think, but overall it will be there in the next few years. So AI is probably your biggest advantage. It's going to be the future. You may not see it yet, but the amounts of things you can do, especially with autonomous agents, innovators, and then AI organizations, it's pretty much nothing you can't do. So you gotta learn to use the tools and then being able to execute on the AI's like or its framework for you to achieve whatever task you want to do. So yeah, much being the best at utilizing these AI tools will get you so far ahead than everyone else, because there'll be people that are kind of lagging behind or don't know how to use these tools to the best of their abilities. Also, you will have pretty much super intelligence at your fingertips. It's like a few hundred years ago when electricity became a thing. Look how far it got society. Like imagine if you didn't have electricity today, pretty much the whole world around us would not work. AI probably is bigger than electricity, pretty much recreating intelligence. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be huge. Number one, learn to use AI. It's not that a lot of people will not learn to use it, it's learn to use it better than anyone else, and then they can't just compete with you. That's number one. And on top of that, you're better having your foot in the door using AI. So you're ahead of the competition while the people that aren't using AI just fall behind you. Soon there's going to be two types of people: the people that use the AI and have businesses or whatever they're doing. Or number two, the people that don't use AI and are just not around. Not I don't mean like businesses won't exist just because they can't compete. The second one is your ability to critical think. Especially with AI being a really good bullshitter, you gotta learn when AI is not right. You gotta be able to just kind of have the ability to actually think and logically draw a conclusion. Hey, is the AI correct? Because soon you're not going to be using search engines, you're just going to be using the AI. And you need to be able to actually, oh, look at that, like, you need to be able to critical think and analyze, hey, is this information correct? And go out, research it, fact check it, back it up with scientific method, framework, and then come to a conclusion: is what the AI giving me correct? Because you would have seen it before, ChatGPT is just a really good bullshitter. So you have to have the ability to actually be able to decipher when, hey, the AI is wrong. Let me use up here to kind of intelligence and be able to come to a conclusion: is that what the AI is giving me correct? Obviously, they probably will be able to achieve some extent the AI's ability to say, hey, I don't know the answer to this, but everyone will be using AI, so you got to have the ability to learn not to use it and in what times to use, like here and your own ability, rather than using AI all the time. So that's number two, the ability to critical think. And then probably number three is like human interaction, communities, interacting with one another with humans, because especially if we're all talking to AIs like every day, robots, it'll be more valuable than ever to speak physical face to face to a human. So yeah, your ability to create communities and interact with other humans will be invaluable in the future. You already see it like when you go networking or when you're in school. It was different to then like hopping on Zoom with people like when you're at work. Like, if you remember COVID, like on Zoom, it didn't feel the same. So being face to face with one another, it's definitely going to be something that differentiates yourself from the AI and just everyone on using this digital world just non-stop 24/7. You got to learn to, hey, I'm going to speak to humans face to face. Being able to build communities or interactions around that, that's going to make you extremely valuable. But on top of that, AR and VR, that in itself, it's kind of like a bridge between kind of interactions, because you're not there fully, but it's like a social experience of kind of being there in person, like with holograms, because you're still like there, and like eventually view it. So it's like the in between our interactions and like the AI, because you'll be able to you'll be able to, through your glasses or whatever lens you're using, see a human face to face without them having to always be there. So here are 3 things you need to be if you want to be ahead in the future. So one, you're gonna be the best at using AI tools, better than anyone else in whatever niche you're in. Number 2, you gotta have the ability to critical think. And number 3, you gotta interact and build communities face to face with other humans. That will be invaluable in the future. So that's me going out on my tangent on the future. That will probably be 5 to 10 years from now. And it's more so seeing, hey, this technology is getting exponentially better. The world's going to change. how do I use it to the best of my ability. All right, back on the business side, overall my goal for the next 1 to 3 months is to get screen creative between 20 to 25k a month. Process shouldn't be too hard in itself if I put 100% of my effort in. Just get enough clients to be at that kind of foundation level and then scale up. Kind of the systems, the qualification flow, like leads through ads, cold outreach, organic content. I'm going to really push into organic and start filming a lot of content. And then also teach people and hire people on. I want to hire my first team member. So I want to be able to kind of scale up because we're niche down. So we can have a few services / softwares we implement into the businesses, into solar / service-based businesses, allow us to scale a lot because we're niche down. So we don't have to be doing custom builds. The problem I found with custom builds, it takes a lot of time, especially if you're in certain niches like finance or real estate. You got to really tailor it to the business's needs every time, and it could either one cost them a lot, the business, and two, it takes a lot of time for us to actually build and implement. So I'm niching down so we can scale, and then we can teach other people how to implement the solutions for us. So we're not always working in the business. My goal is to be working more on the business and growing it. It's just a 1 to 3 month goal, 1 to 3 month goal, sorry. Bring it to 20 to 25k. Start next year, I want to be around 40 to 50k. And then I want to be doing 6 figures midway through next year. It is doable. Definitely for the niche business I'm in, for AI automation, solar and service based. One, you got Australia, there's a lot of solar / energy people here. And then also service based businesses. My target customers kind of medium to high ticket. So you got Australia, and then you got other countries like the US, New Zealand, and probably kind of southeastern Europe, and then kind of like North Africa region for solar. But yeah, I want to be sticking to probably Australia, number one, like dominate in AI automation for those businesses. Two, probably expand out to the US, New Zealand for the solar side, and then probably also service based. I could probably do Canada and the UK. So they're probably the big 5 countries. But yeah, goals to expand and hire on team members and get screen creative to that kind of 6-figure cash flow mark by midway through next year. If I don't achieve it, I'll hold myself fully accountable. It should be doable. One, because now I have time, and two, I'm going to be building out the systems and processes to actually scale the business through bringing in leads, qualifying the leads, turning them to clients, service fulfillment, just building long-term value with my clients, and then just innovating on AI products. Because I like heads to the floor basically in the industry, day in, day out, finding what solutions work best and kind of tailoring a few solutions after we work with like 10 or 15 clients that we can scale up, potentially also turn to some sort of software. Number two, with my YouTube channel, educational YouTube channel and content, I'm going to build a community to teach people, to teach entrepreneurs how to get into AI, and to business owners. From what I built over the past few months, I'm probably one of the best out there building AI agents. There isn't many YouTube tutorials or examples of what I've done. Obviously, everyone has to go through the stage. It'll be definitely interesting to teach people what I've learned over the past 1.5 years of running this business. I basically started midway through 2023, and now it's like nearly end of 2024. So you could say around 1.5 years, pretty much when AI started kicking off. Doing GPT-3 goal is screen creative 6 figures, definitely doable. Look at this, just in a forest, lol. And then two, build a community / info product to teach people about AI. And then from the cash flow, I want to then build some sort of AI software. I'm already working on a few projects at the moment, but I kind of need cash flow because I don't really want to get invested on. It's not equity, giving out equity, it's more so just keeping control, especially if they're these AI apps that I'm thinking of. But yeah, scaled AI automation agency, screen creative, 6 figures a month, definitely doable. Big market. Number two, community info product. Teach people how to build these AI solutions, or teach businesses how to implement it throughout their businesses, get their employees, like skill them up. And 3 is just going out with that cash flow to then build AI softwares. I'm probably thinking instead of business to business, that's good, but I'd probably look at business to consumer as it's more scalable in a larger market. In the future, I don't think softwares will be a thing because I think AI is going to become so good. I want to preview how good it is at coding. I think AI will literally just be able to code you up apps. So more so building AI agents for the future that one can't be replaced by AI because they're so niche and fine-tuned to a specific task. And two, yeah, it's just going to be replaced by AI. So I want to build AI softwares which can eventually turn to AI agents that won't be replaced by AI. I think what I'm holding here, the smartphone, obviously we will use it. It's like a hammer. Like obviously everyone will still use smartphones, but I think there's going to be a big push into AI agents, especially VR slash AR tech, augmented realities, virtual realities. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes to 5 to 10 years. We're definitely interested in building sort of virtual worlds, that sort of stuff. It's going to be definitely a lot of money there because soon a lot of people not have jobs. It's going to be optional to work because robots slash AIs will do most of it. And it's more so finding your life purpose. I feel see the increase to how many young kids play games. People will be spending most of their time gaming or in the digital world. There'll be some big opportunities there to build some virtual worlds. But yeah. And another thing on the voice agents, interesting fact slash statistic that Amazon actually has something pretty similar to this. They actually call people up. So let's say you have a product and you can press the call me now button or whatever it is. Amazon will actually call you up within 30 seconds and know everything about like why you want to return the product, where it is. So Amazon, like you gotta trust what they do. They've trialed multiple different like business systems. There'll be a reason why they call customers up within 30 seconds. The idea of voice agents being able to interact with your customers within 30 seconds for whatever task. If Amazon's doing it, I say as a business, you're like, hey, Amazon's doing it. I shouldn't question why they're doing it. Let's just implement some sort of solution to replicate this. That's where AI agents come in, able to interact with your customers within 30 seconds. So yeah, you can cut that statistic. Pretty interesting. I'm probably going to cut the video here. My arm's getting way too sore. I've been holding this for like 50 minutes. That's my goals for the next 1 to 3 months to going into next year. It's around end of September. So yeah, I'm gonna hold myself fully accountable and then scale this business up and then build some AI softwares.